Meanwhile, families of victims of protests will have to wait longer for the victim compensation pledged by the government. This is after the High Court in Kirinyaga temporarily suspended operations of the panel of experts on compensation of victims of demonstrations and public protests. The petitioner, Levi Munyeri, has accused President William Ruto of acting unconstitutionally in constituting the panel. NTV's Kevin Mutai has the details.
I shall well and truly...
The ruling delivered by Justice Mugare Kizito on Monday at Kerugoya High Court in Kirinyaga County suspended the implementation of President William Ruto's presidential proclamation that paved way for the formation of the panel of experts on compensation of victims of demonstrations and public protests. Lawyer Levi Munyeri, who is the petitioner, contends that President Ruto contravened several sections of the Constitution in constituting the panel. He noted that Article 59 of the Constitution establishes the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights as the constitutional body charged with the promotion and protection of human rights in Kenya. He argued that, and I quote, "The panel of experts on compensation of victims of demonstrations and public protests lacks authority and mechanisms to investigate and even determine criminal culpability, which is to inform the basis of the compensation," end of quote. He maintains that the mandate lies with KNCHR. Further, he says the 18-member panel, chaired by President Ruto's senior advisor on constitutional affairs and human rights, Makau Mutua, is also in contravention of Articles 94 and 95 of the Constitution on grounds that the creation of such a panel and the scheme by presidential proclamation and gazette notice without enabling legislation or express parliamentary authorization subverts the constitutional powers of the legislature. Munyeri also accused the president of going against the dictates of Articles 201 and 206, which imposes fundamental constraints on how public funds are raised, appropriated, released, and used. The law prescribes the principles governing public finance, including openness and accountability. In his ruling, Justice Mugare issued conservatory orders directing that, and I quote, "A conservatory order restraining the office of the Attorney General, the Ministries of Interior and National Coordination, and that of National Treasury, their servants and agents, from implementing, enforcing, or in any manner acting upon the proclamation by the President of the Republic of Kenya, dated 6th August 2025, establishing a framework for compensation of victims of demonstrations and public protests pending the hearing of the application by interparties. A stay order on the implementation of the Gazette Notice 12002 of 25th of August 2025 that appointed the panel of experts on the compensation of victims of demonstrations and public protests was also issued. Further directions will be delivered by the court on 6th of October. Kevin Mutai, NTV.
And of course, a lot of reaction from that. The Police Reforms Working Group Kenya has just released a statement saying they welcome the ruling of the High Court in Kerugoya, issuing conservatory orders temporarily suspending the operations of the panel of experts on compensation of victims of demonstrations and public protests, terming it the establishment of the panel as unconstitutional, irregular, and wasteful. They say that they demand full accountability for all the atrocities committed by the regime, including issues of extrajudicial killings, enforced disappearances, torture, and other gross human rights violations. And while away from that,